All right, it is Thursday, November 11th, and a happy Veterans Day to everybody out there, and certainly a big thank you to those who have served in any capacity over the years and have done things that allow us to live and trade in the safe harbor of freedom, so we appreciate the sacrifice. In terms of posting, it's been a few days. I don't believe in chirping just for the sake of chirping. I know that I've posted almost every day for the past 2.5 years, but sometimes there is room for silence. And so as life hopefully teaches us, this is not about he or she who can chirp the loudest. We're going after quality over quantity. Having said that, I recognize that there is another surge in onlookers, and I want to remind everybody that preceding this current blog format that you see that started several months ago is a whole nother blog, and there's a menu link in the top or at the top of the screen that will get you there, and there's also a link in the lower right hand margin. And I mention that because I get a lot of emails in terms of people asking questions on certain things, and I just want to remind everybody that there's 2+ years, or I guess about 2 years of blogging that really helps explain everything that I believe in as a trader and who I am and what makes me tick and the importance of various aspects that you may be asking about. So that blog is there. It'll stay there. There's a list in the lower left-hand margin that either I or onlookers felt were very key critical posts, reflections, parables, what have you. And again, that's in the lower left-hand section. So I encourage you to skim through that material. I think you'll find it very useful. But anyway, I'm certainly recognizing that there's a new group that have found their way here. I think the Twitter account's now up to over 760 last I checked. And a lot of emails over the course of the last several days in terms of responding to my weekend video, which I thought was quite enlightening and intriguing. Not the video, but the responses. And in this quiet time I've had from a blogging perspective over the past couple of days, it certainly allowed me to, or caused me to look back and look at the things that we've done and look at the things that we're doing, such as the Trading After Dark effort, which is moving along very nicely. And kind of step back and say, well, again, what are we trying to do here? I recognize that there are a lot of people that like what we've done here. I recognize that there's some people that really don't care for it, and as I've always said, change the channel. I'm not going to change, and the support that I've received over the past couple of days just reinforces that fact. This is a trading site. This is a trading site about a trader. A trader who is no better nor any worse than anybody on this planet. And it's the trading story and the life story, if you will. So, where this blog has evolved from a blow-by-blow daily diary to motivational to more formal education, now toward Trading After Dark efforts, and spliced, interlaced, I guess, within all that trading material are tidbits about personal life and about the spiritual side of my life. And that's what this has been about from day one, and what it's going to continue to be about. The word that I used in the weekend post last week, and also a word that came up in many of the emails is truth. This has always been about the truth. I really, from day one of launching this, wanted that to be the cornerstone. And I think that's probably why, when we go through phases where, some people might complain, when I'm talking about the extended, times when I'm in the trading zone, some of the crazy runs, some people complain that I was getting down when I was getting burned out. It was tough to read. It was negative. It was, what have you. The times the health issues affected myself as a trader, family issues, dentist appointments. Remember that post I did on the, what that dentist appointment cost me because I didn't schedule it at the right time. Whether it's about my family life, trading and life are just so intertwined with each other, that what happens in one affects the other, and that's what this blog has always been about in terms of the entire picture, and it's always been about the truth. So every word, sentence, paragraph, and page, if someone wanted to audit it, could be 100% audited with 100% validation. All the results, all the comments, that this is what it is. In terms of my references to the spiritual side, it is about the truth. And, it's interesting because we live in a day and age where, as I might have said before, he or she who chirps the loudest often gets heard. And I think in this world of internet and, cable television, it almost seems like, whoever yells the loudest, that becomes the truth. And that's not right. I certainly hold myself to a high standard. Anybody viewing this or stumbling across the blog has every right to hold me to a higher standard. This has been about the truth, and it needs to be about the truth. So that's one of the reasons that I'm taking care, critical care in the Trading After Dark launch, and I'm certainly heeding many of the suggestions that have encouraged me when I do this to do it right. And so that's what I'm trying to do. One last comment, if I can, on the spiritual side. Anything that I've ever done in this industry, or in my life for that matter, has been in spite of myself. For some reason, I have, through the grace of God, been blessed with success that I do not accept. And I deflect all of that to where it belongs. And, for example, I know the year-end post, the 08 year-end post, the Night to Dance, I wanted to make sure that I referenced it. And you'll see that, again, between posts every now and then. I don't dwell it. I try not to be evangelical. One of these words, these times, I'll get that word out right. But that is the truth. That is who I am. And for some reason, I've been given a public pulpit and a record, and I guess a way of helping educate others that has made some sense. And I certainly thank God and Jesus Christ for everything that I have ever done or ever accomplished. It has all been done in spite of me. That is the truth in terms of how I feel, and that is the truth in terms of what this world is about. It's not about opinion. This site is not about opinion. It is about the truth. And it's sad in this life where people don't want to hear about the truth. People don't want to hear about my runs. People don't want to hear when I'm burned out. People don't want to hear when I'm sick. Oh, he's complaining. This is a diary. This is an autobiography, and this is as close to truth as I can get in terms of what we've done here. So I can't wait to get the mail on this one. Anyway, what does that have to do with trading? A lot. Many years ago, when I was writing for Trading Markets, I got an email because I'd mentioned it, and I had to be careful. My content got edited a bit at times, and that's one of the reasons I love doing this, is because there's no editing. I put out what I want to put out. So I always had to be careful what I talked about. But many years ago, I got a letter basically saying, well, does your belief in God help you trade better? When you're spiritual, and this person was being very facetious about it. And the answer is and was yes, absolutely. I believe that when you are in rhythm with your life, and when you are in rhythm with God, and doing the things that you're supposed to, and all of that, then everything just follows naturally. Things just tend to work out well. And when they're not aligned, things tend not to work out well. And I've certainly seen that. I've experienced it. I've been through what some people may consider to be mental blocks at times, and it's really not a mental block. It's more of a spiritual disconnection that I have to revisit. And when I revisit that, everything gets centered again. So, take that for what it's worth. You know, there's a lot to be said about trading psychology and skill and education and experience and all the hard work, by the way, that I talk about ad infinitum. And I had an email from a Christian a year or so ago that basically, told me that I shouldn't be talking about hard work, because it doesn't result in anything, because what we get is through the grace of God. And while he is right in that area to some extent, I will say that you will not succeed in this business unless you work really, really hard. And I could quote some biblical references, which I won't, that talk about that. So, this is a dog-eat-dog business. It's a competitive business. It's an endeavor where you have to prepare and you have to work harder than the next guy, and that's just the fact. So, but again, I find life and trading just so closely correlated, and that's why I choose to talk about it a whole lot. Trading after dark, again, putting extra care in terms of getting that going. I think you'll really like some of the things that you'll see. I'm holding back any further previews because I'm still tweaking it. I really, am looking forward to continuing the mission of truth, if you will, and transparency in terms of, taking, not only trades or talking about trade setups, but actually seeing them unfold, seeing the mood, seeing maybe a playback, a voiceover as I'm evaluating, what I liked and what I didn't like about it. I found that it's actually helping my own trading at times as I'm practicing with some of these recordings, and in terms of really another way for me, sort of like a baseball player who goes into the office or whatever and views video of his swing. If he's got a hitch in his swing, I can play some of these back, and so I'm finding that beneficial. And if this wasn't going to be beneficial for me, I wouldn't do it either, because not that I'm selfish, but I have to maintain that's my business, that's my bread and butter, my trading income. So I'm finding some interesting correlations there. That's really what I have tonight. Just a quick update. Markets had good setups today. We had yellow bias at the beginning, which basically means oscillations. More green bias than any dips, given the fact that we're opening up near some supports. Breakout 2 o'clock this afternoon. Prior resistance became support. Some nice trade sequences there. Volume wasn't all that it was cracked up to be today, but it was Veterans Day, so that's just the way it is. And quick thank you to everybody who has contributed to growuganda.org. And just incredible. John told me what the updated tally was. We've raised closing in on $6,000 between everything that everybody has done. So that's a great effort. Go to Sherry's music site that I linked last weekend. It's been fixed and new songs have added. She has a wonderful, wonderful voice. So again, thank you very, very much for all of you who have done that. And again, if you've gotten any benefit from this blog, I don't care if you send them $10, $15, $20, and some contributions have been much more than that. That's a favor to me, and you will have that favor returned tenfold at your end. So quick thoughts tonight, Thursday, November 11th. Have a great trading night, and we'll see you again shortly. Take care.